The 2025 NBA playoffs took an unexpected turn as the Los Angeles Lakers, widely considered championship contenders, were eliminated in the first round. On April 30th, the Minnesota Timberwolves sealed a 103-96 victory in Game 5, clinching the series 4-1 and stunning the basketball world. For a team that had secured the third seed in the Western Conference with 50 regular season wins, this early exit was nothing short of a collapse. Inside the Lakers' locker room, the atmosphere was heavy with disappointment. Both LeBron James and Luka Doncic faced the media with raw, unfiltered emotions. Luka, still nursing a painful back injury from the game, was blunt in his post-game interview. When asked about his condition, he simply replied, "It's not good at all, but I tried to go. That's it." His words revealed both his physical struggle and his determination to push through. But Luka's honesty went beyond his injury. When asked to reflect on the series, he didn't sugarcoat his disappointment. "I think I didn't play the way I should. I think as a team we didn't play the way we could. But congratulations to Minnesota, they played a hell of a series. They were the better team, honestly." This candid assessment highlighted his accountability, even in defeat. LeBron James, at 40 years old and finishing his 22nd NBA season, carried a different kind of weight. The questions directed at him weren't just about the loss, they were about his future in the game. When asked if he planned to return next season, LeBron hesitated, replying, "I don't know. I don't have an answer to that. It's something I'll sit down with my family and talk through. I'll have conversations with myself on how long I want to continue to play. I don't know the answer right now." LeBron's words didn't provide clarity, but they spoke volumes. After playing an average of 40.8 minutes per game in the series, while dealing with a swollen left leg from a knee-to-knee collision in Game 5, it was clear that the physical demands were catching up. Still, his performance remained elite, averaging 25.4 points, 9 rebounds, and 5.6 assists on nearly 49% shooting. Outside the locker room, the reactions were swift and polarized. Social media erupted with debates about LeBron's legacy, Luka's fit with the Lakers, and the team's structural flaws. One viral post read, "So we can end the LeBron versus MJ debate now, right? Bro lost in the first round with Luka, gathering millions of views in hours." On Reddit, more thoughtful analysis surfaced, with fans admitting the team's roster was too flawed to make a deep run. One comment summed it up, "Outside of Memphis, we'd probably lose to any other playoff team in the West in a 7-game series. This roster was just too flawed." The Lakers' elimination wasn't just a loss on the scoreboard, it exposed deep cracks in the team's foundation. And as LeBron and Luka faced the media, the franchise found itself staring into an uncertain future, with tough questions looming about how to move forward from such a disappointing end to a once promising season. While the Lakers' elimination was a team-wide disappointment, for Luka Doncic, it was also deeply personal. Just 3 months earlier, he had been uprooted from Dallas, the city he had called home since entering the NBA at 18, in a blockbuster trade that sent Anthony Davis to the Mavericks. The transition wasn't just professional, it was emotional. Luka had once thrown his phone in frustration upon hearing about the trade. Even in post-game interviews, he admitted the trade was hard to process. "It was home," he reflected. "It was really hard, especially the first day." This whirlwind of change took a toll, and by the end of the Lakers' short playoff run, Luka wasn't just physically battered, he was mentally drained. "Honestly, I don't know," he told reporters when asked how he felt. "I'm mentally kind of exhausted from everything that happened. I know a lot of people won't believe me, but I am. I think now it's time to process everything." Despite averaging an impressive 30.2 points, 7 rebounds, and 5.8 assists in the series, Luka held himself accountable. He didn't point fingers. Instead, he acknowledged that both he and the team had failed to meet expectations. His frankness won him respect among fans and media, but it also highlighted the internal struggle of a superstar thrust into a high-pressure situation mid-season. Integrating Luka into the Lakers was no easy task. The team had spent years building around Anthony Davis, and suddenly had to pivot to accommodate Luka's ball-dominant style. LeBron James even admitted the challenge. "Any time you make a big acquisition in the middle of the season, it's always going to be challenging," he said. "Not only for me, but for AR and for the rest of the group. We went from wanting the ball in AD's hands, whether on pick and rolls, post-ups, or elbow touches, to adjusting to Luka's game." That adjustment proved harder than anyone expected. Both Luka and LeBron needed the offense to run through them to be most effective, and the overlap in their playing styles created friction on the court. With limited practice time, it became difficult to build the chemistry needed for a deep playoff run. Luka recognized this after the elimination, comparing the challenge to when he had to adjust to Kyrie Irving's arrival in Dallas. "It's tough to get that chemistry without practices," he admitted. "I'm really excited to have a pre-season with those two so we can learn more about each other on the court." Physically, Luka was battling more than his back injury. He had played through a stomach bug in Game 3 and re-aggravated his back in Game 5. Despite these setbacks, he pushed himself to stay on the floor, exemplifying his commitment to the team's playoff hopes. "I tried to go," he simply said about his injury. His willingness to play hurt didn't go unnoticed, but it also underscored the immense burden he carried as the Lakers' newest star. Off the court, Luka's journey was equally complex. Returning to Dallas as a Laker stirred deep emotions. The Mavericks played a tribute video for him, and fans gave him a standing ovation. Luka described the experience as a little bit of both, happy and angry, revealing the bittersweet nature of leaving the franchise that drafted him. And then there was the constant comparison with Anthony Davis, the player he was traded for. "From now on, everyone is going to compare us," Luka acknowledged. "But I think he's an amazing player and I think he's going to do really good in Dallas." As the Lakers processed their shocking first-round playoff exit, attention inevitably shifted to the future, not just of the franchise, but of LeBron James himself. At 40 years old, and having just completed his 22nd NBA season, LeBron faced questions that had loomed over him all year. Would he return for another season, or was this the end of one of basketball's greatest careers? LeBron's post-game remarks offered little clarity, but spoke volumes about his mindset. "I don't know. I don't have an answer to that," he told reporters. "It's something I'll sit down with my family, my wife, my support group, and talk through. I'll have conversations with myself on how long I want to continue to play. I don't know the answer right now." This wasn't the first time LeBron had publicly contemplated retirement, but this time felt different. The wear and tear on his body was undeniable. Throughout the series, he played an average of 40.8 minutes per game, pushing his body to its limits. A knee-to-knee collision in Game 5 left him with a swollen left leg, yet he played through it, averaging 25.4 points, 9 rebounds, and 5.6 assists while shooting nearly 49%. The production was still elite, but the physical cost was mounting. Media outlets speculated wildly. Some believed LeBron was nearing the end, while others argued he still had more left in the tank. Fans on social media debated his legacy. One viral post, garnering over 6 million views, read, "We're really seeing LeBron's decline in real time." Others defended him, pointing to his impressive statistics and continued leadership. Beyond LeBron's personal decision, the Lakers faced broader structural challenges that the playoff elimination had brutally exposed. The roster, built around LeBron and Luka Doncic, lacked key pieces, most notably a reliable starting center. Throughout the series, the Timberwolves exploited this weakness relentlessly. In Game 5, Rudy Gobert dominated the paint with 27 points and 24 rebounds on 12 of 15 shooting. The Timberwolves out-rebounded the Lakers 54-37, including an 18-8 edge on the offensive glass, leading to crucial second-chance points that swung the game. It wasn't for lack of trying. Reports later surfaced that the Lakers had attempted to trade for Charlotte's Mark Williams before the deadline, but the deal fell through after Williams failed his physical. Salt was rubbed in the wound when Williams posted a cryptic emoji on social media following the Lakers' elimination, seemingly mocking the team. The team's defensive deficiencies weren't limited to the front court. Perimeter defense was porous, rotations were inconsistent, and the lack of a rim protector forced LeBron and Luka to shoulder more defensive responsibility than they could sustain. Head coach J.J. Redick, in his rookie season, made bold but questionable decisions. In Game 4, he famously kept the same five-man lineup on the floor for the entire second half, a move unprecedented in the NBA's tracking era. The starters visibly wore down, scoring only 19 points in the fourth quarter of a narrow 116-113 loss. Critics pounced on Redick's decision, calling it a tactical blunder. Yet both LeBron and Luka publicly defended their coach. Luka praised Redick's innovative approach, comparing it to European basketball systems that felt familiar to him. LeBron, too, acknowledged the unique pressure Redick faced. "It's a hell of a lot harder being a rookie head coach coaching the Lakers," LeBron said. "It's a whole other ball game. And I thought he handled it extremely well." As the dust settled from the Lakers' disappointing playoff exit, the attention shifted from what went wrong to what comes next. For a franchise with 17 championships and a fan base that demands excellence, failure isn't just a temporary setback, it's a crisis. And after a season filled with bold moves, emotional upheaval, and unmet expectations, the Lakers' path forward is anything but clear. Fans and media wasted no time dissecting the team's flaws. On Reddit, nuanced conversations explored the structural weaknesses that doomed the Lakers' playoff run. One widely upvoted comment summed up the sentiment. "Right when the trade happened, everyone knew they had horrible point-of-attack defense and no playoff bigs. This shouldn't surprise anyone who wasn't just giving hot takes." The numbers backed that up. The Lakers were exposed in the paint, on the boards, and in crunch-time defensive rotations. Despite their offensive firepower, they simply couldn't stop elite teams from scoring. Media outlets framed the early exit as both a failure of roster construction and a reflection of deeper organizational challenges. The Washington Post noted the eerie absence of emotional catharsis after the loss. No tearful press conferences, no fiery speeches, just a stunned silence that spoke volumes. The Athletic described the locker room atmosphere as a mix of exhaustion and quiet resignation, underscoring how swiftly championship hopes had unraveled. At the center of it all were two superstars navigating very different crossroads. LeBron James, the NBA's oldest active player, faced retirement rumors fueled by his cryptic post-game remarks. Luka Doncic, meanwhile, was contemplating his long-term future in Los Angeles. Eligible for a 4-year, $229 million extension on August 2nd, Luka told reporters he hadn't yet thought about his contract. "It's been focused on basketball," he said. "Obviously now is the time to think about everything." Despite the uncertainty, Luka spoke glowingly about his experience in Los Angeles so far. "It's been great, honestly," he shared. "The way the fans accepted me, the way the community welcomed me, it's been amazing. I'm really glad I'm here. I had a great couple of months." His praise hinted at optimism, but also left room for questions about his ultimate commitment. For the Lakers front office, the offseason loomed as a gauntlet of difficult decisions. Beyond LeBron's player option and Luka's extension, other roster issues demanded attention. The lack of a starting caliber center had been painfully exposed. Potential trade targets included Nick Claxton, Jakob Poeltl, or perhaps an aging but still serviceable Steven Adams. Free agency offered limited options, with the Lakers only having a $5.7 million mid-level exception available under the tax. Draft capital was equally scarce. With no first-round pick in 2025, owed to New Orleans from the Anthony Davis trade, and future picks tied up from the Luka Doncic blockbuster deal, the Lakers had little flexibility to make significant moves. Their most tradable assets included second-round picks and distant future firsts. Any hope of improving the roster would require creativity and perhaps risk. The bench also needed reinforcement. Rookie Dalton Knecht had flashed potential but fell out of the playoff rotation due to defensive shortcomings. Austin Reeves, a valuable secondary creator, was eligible for a 4-year, $89.2 million extension. Keeping Reeves long-term was seen as a priority, but even that would limit financial flexibility moving forward.